Same way in the right hand side I will get the other delta network, sorry, other star network. See, when the three resistors are having the same value, it is very much easier for you to convert the delta network into the star network. You can even 1/3 of the resistor value. You can cross check. See, if the value is 15, what is the 1/3 of 15? It is 5. So you can put 5, 5 and 5. Other resistors are put up as it is. Now from this diagram what you can see? Which are the resistors are connected in series? The resistors that are connected in series are like (2 ohm, 41 ohm and 5 ohm). While in this the resistors are connected in this series are 2 ohm, 17 ohm and 5 ohm. So again redrawing the circuit, this is the star delta conversion. Now after doing the star delta transformation, the network can be replaced or redrawn by the circuit. So you will get 2 ohm, 4 ohm and 41 and 5. So it will be 2 plus 41, that is 43, plus 5, that is 48. So you can again simplify the circuit. So your circuit, you can see that these three elements are in series. Same way in the bottom side there are also three resistors that are connected in series. So your circuit will be little bit simpler now. As you know that if the three resistors are connected in series, you can do the addition of these three resistors, that is R1 plus R2 plus R3. Same way here 2 plus 17 plus 5. So what will be the value? It will be 24. So it is nothing but the simplification of the resistor only. The battery is in their place, that is 115 volt. There is no change in the battery and there is no change in the other resistor also. So the total circuit resistance, if you observe the diagram again, it will be, you can see now 48 and 24. Are they in series or in parallel? They are in parallel. So you can see that these 2 and 5 are in series with the 48 and 24. So now your task is that you have to apply the series parallel combination in this circuit and you can simplify the circuit. So when you simplify the circuit, you will get the equivalent resistance is 23 ohm. So if you want to find out the total current, so how you can find out the total current? You know the Ohm's law. What is the Ohm's law? The equation of Ohm's law, it is V is equal to I into R. So based on this you can take I as a main. So I is equal to V divided by R. And the V is 115 volt and 23 is the resistance that you have already find out. So your answer will be 5 ampere. That is the total current. But if I see the question then I can find that I am not asked to find out the total current. So why I need to find out the total current? See, in the question it is mentioned that you need to find out the current in the 17 ohm resistor, that is this resistor. How much current is passed through this resistor, that is to be asked. But I cannot solve it directly, and it is also mentioned that you have to apply the star delta transformation. So what I need to do? First of all I will convert the resistor and find out the equivalent resistance. After finding the equivalent resistance, what I will do? There is one theorem. Can you recall the theorem name? See, the theorem you can apply is the current division rule. So as per the current division rule, if you see, you can find out the current that is flowing through the 17 ohm resistor, because the current through the 17 ohm resistor is the same current that is to be flow in the 24 ohm resistor. See, you can again see the diagram. So as per the current division rule, you can see that I is the total current is equal to 5 into 48 divided by 48 plus 24. So if you solve it, you will get I is equal to 10 by 13. So what is 10 by 13? It will be roughly 3.33 ampere. So you can write down at the answer at the end that the current that is flowing through the 17 ohm resistor is 3.33 ampere, and the total current is 5 ampere. 3 ampere is flowing through the 5 ampere is flowing through the circuit. Okay, till now we have seen the questions from the chapter number 1, that is the DC circuit. Now let us see the questions from the capacitor and electrostatic chapter. The question that was asked in 7 marks was, you have to explain the charging and discharging of a capacitor through a resistor R. You have to draw the neat sketch and derive the equation, that is you can see in the screen. Vc is equal to V in bracket 1 minus e raised to minus t divided by RC. You might be knowing that RC is a time constant, or it can be also defined by the lambda, right? So you have to derive the equation of a charging of a capacitor. See, if you are putting the capacitor with the DC supply, see, it is also mentioned that assume that the RC series circuit is connected to a DC supply which is having a voltage as a V volt. So initially when you read the question, what should be there in your mind? I mean, can you draw the circuit? Yes, if you think or read the question again, it is very much easy circuit you have to implement, and based on that circuit you have to write down the derivation, and you have to say that in which case the capacitor will be charged in a few minutes, or in which case the capacitor will be charged after some time duration. See, you are also connecting one resistor in series with the capacitor. So what will be its effect? What is the basic principle of resistor? It will oppose the flow of current. So in this circuit, if you are connecting a resistor in series with the capacitor, then what will be happen? Does it charge quickly? No. If the resistance is more, it will not charge quickly. But if the resistance value is less, the current will not oppose frequently, so it will not require more time. While in the discharging it is reverse. If you are connecting a higher value of resistor in series with the capacitor, then what will be happen? The capacitor will be discharged in a few minutes, but if you are connecting a small resistor, then it will require more time to discharge. Mind well, in the exam the charging equation is only asked to you. You don't have to derive the discharging equation. This is the equation Vc is equal to V in bracket 1 minus e raised to minus t divided by Rc. What is the discharging equation? It is Vc is equal to V in bracket e raised to minus t divided by Rc. There is no one in this discharging equation. Let us see the charging of a capacitor. You can see a simple circuit that is consisting of a resistor and a capacitor. It is connected with a battery source. It is also connected with a ammeter, and you can see that there is a switch, and this switch is having two terminals, terminal A and terminal B. So when I want to charge, I will put my switch in the A position. So let us put my switch in the A position. So what will be happen? As per the battery EMF, the current will start flowing through the capacitor and the resistor, and after some time duration the capacitor will get some voltage. So that voltage I can define by Vc. So let us derive the charging of a capacitor equation. See, the applied voltage is always equal to the summation of the resistive drop plus the voltage across capacitor. So my voltage is V is equal to IC into R plus VC. So first of all I need to find out what is this IC. How I can find out IC? So IC is nothing but rate of change of the charge of a capacitor. So IC is equal to dq divided by dt. But what is charge of a capacitor? You know the equation, the charge Q is equal to C into V. So as the capacitor is having a constant value, I am not changing the capacitance of a capacitor. So I can take it as a constant and I can do the differentiation of the capacitor voltage with respect to time. So I will get V is equal to Vc plus Cr into d dt of Vc. I can say it as my equation number 2. I advise to the students that please refer the detailed derivation from the book itself. Right? Now rearranging the term, I can say that in the left hand side I will get minus dVc divided by V minus Vc is equal to minus dt divided by Cr. See, there are actually two operations are to be done. I have multiplied both the side with the minus, and I have also rearranged the term. So now I will do the integration in both the side. I will get integration of minus dVc divided by V minus Vc is equal to 1 upon Cr integration of dt. So I will get the integration of this left hand side log C in bracket V minus Vc is equal to minus 1 upon Cr plus K, where K is nothing but it is a constant of the integration whose values can be found out by the initial conditions. So what is the initial conditions? Initial condition is at time t is equal to 0, my voltage across the capacitor is also having 0. So if I put Vc is equal to 0 in this equation, what I will get? I will get log V base C is equal to K. Hence you can say that equation number 3 will become log C in bracket V minus Vc is equal to minus T divided by Cr plus log V base E. So again rearranging the term, that is the logarithm term are put up in the left hand side and the other term are put up in the right hand side. So I will get the simplification, and at the last I will get the equation that is to be asked in the exam, that is Vc is equal to V in bracket 1 minus e raised to minus t divided by lambda. Here I have replaced the Rc by lambda, so I can say that lambda is nothing but the time constant. So this gives the variation with the voltage across the capacitor plates. So you can see now the diagram. As the time passes, the voltage across the capacitor will be increased. Same way the charge will also get increased. But the current that will be decreased exponentially. When I am supplying the battery to my capacitor, the current will be decreased after the time duration. So in both the case you can find out the time constant. So I will not go in detail of the time constant more, but time constant you can say that it is the rate of rise where the time taken to reach the voltage of a capacitor. So you can define in other word that the time during which the voltage across the capacitor would have reached its maximum value is defined as the rate of rise or the time constant. Now let us see one example that was asked in the exam, that was related to the capacitor. Here a parallel plate capacitor has 3 plates and having the area of 2 meters square are spaced by the 3 slabs of the different material. The relative permittivity, what is relative permittivity? It is epsilon naught r, sorry, it is epsilon r. So here there are three relative permittivity, so you can define epsilon R1, epsilon R2 and epsilon R3, and the thickness is 0.4 and 0.6 and 1.2 mm respectively. You need to calculate what will be the equivalent capacitance if these three capacitors are connected in series, and at the same time you have to also find out what will be the electrical stress in each material when you are applying the 1000 volt to your capacitor or to these connections. So read the questions again and understand what is to be asked. Don't solve the example hurriedly. You have to first know what is to be asked. So what you can see from this data, you can see that you are given the data A. What is A? A is the cross section area. It is 2 meters square. Epsilon R1 is the relative permittivity of the different material. It is epsilon R1 is equal to 2, epsilon R2 is equal to 3 and epsilon R3 is equal to 6. And you know the epsilon 0 value. It is 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 12. So you need to find out the equivalent capacitance and the electric stress in each material, that is the voltage across each capacitor. So you can do the first step, draw the illustrative diagram so that you can understand the problem more. So this is the simplified diagram of the capacitor connections or the capacitor constructions. From the given data, I can say that I am having the three capacitors, so I can give the name of this capacitor is equal to C1, C2 and C3. Now step 2 is to find out the value of C1, C2 and C3. So I know the equation to find out the capacitance of a capacitor. The equation is epsilon naught epsilon R1 into A divided by the thickness. So again I am having the three thickness D1, D2 and D3. So I will just put the value of epsilon naught epsilon R1 and the cross section area and the D1. So I will get the value of a capacitor. You know the unit of capacitor, it is a Faraday, but 1 Faraday is a more value. So generally sometimes the value is also measured in the microfarad, right? So here you can write down 88.54 is the picofarad.